The air in Washington Square Park hung thick with cigarette smoke and possibility. 6-year-old Josh Waitskin's small hand hovered over the worn plastic pieces, dwarfed by the speed chessboard. Around him, hustlers barked, pigeons scavenged, life pulsed. His opponent, Vinny, a grizzled park veteran, chuckled. "Kid, you sure you want to lose your allowance this fast?" Josh didn't smile. His eyes, wide and impossibly blue, scanned the chaos. He saw patterns. He saw stories. His small finger tapped a pawn forward. Safe. For now. That first hesitant push ignited a wildfire. Josh wasn't just good, he was a conduit. Chess wasn't a game, it was a language whispered directly into his soul. Lessons became pilgrimages. Tournaments, once intimidating halls echoing with clock ticks, transformed into stages. He devoured strategies, his mind a sponge absorbing Grandmaster games. Victories piled up, shiny trophies reflecting a prodigy's rise. Newspapers called him the Mozart of chess. His father beamed. Coaches predicted immortality. Win. Always win. The pressure built, brick by invisible brick. The pinnacle arrived, the National Scholastic Championship. 12 years old, facing Mikhail Petrov, a cold, calculating Soviet emigre kid rumored to be a machine. The final match felt glacial. Josh's usual intuitive spark flickered, drowned by the weight of expectation. Petrov played relentless, positional chess, squeezing space. Josh's clock dwindled. Panic, cold and sharp, pricked his neck. He blundered. A simple fork. Queen lost. The gasp from the audience was a physical blow. The resignation felt like tearing out his own heart. Silver medal. Silver felt like ash. He fled the hall, the cheers for Petrov echoing like mockery. Failure. Fraud. The board, once a playground, now felt like a prison cell. Months bled into a gray fog. Trophies gathered dust. Opening books lay untouched. The joy, the pure love of the dance of pieces, was gone, buried under the rubble of defeat. He wandered back to Washington Square. Not to play. Just to breathe. The familiar smells, the clatter of pieces, Vinny's raspy laugh. He watched two old men battle fiercely, laughing at blunders. Why did I start? The memory hit him, not for glory, but for the sheer, electric thrill of that first park game. The beauty of the fight. Not the trophy, but the try. He sat down at a battered table. No clock. No ranking. Just a board and an eager stranger. He moved a pawn. Not perfectly. Not for victory. Just, to play. The old feeling, faint but undeniable, sparked. The complex tapestry of the board, the silent conversation between pieces, it whispered to him again. He started studying anew, not for domination, but for understanding. For the art. The fire was relit, warmer, steadier. The championship returned. Same hall. Same icy glare from Petrov across the board. The ghosts of failure whispered, but Josh breathed deep. This isn't about him. It's about the game. The final game was a war. Petrov attacked with predictable, crushing force. Josh absorbed it. Counterpunched not with raw aggression, but with deep, positional understanding honed by rediscovered love. He sacrificed a night, not out of desperation, but vision. Creating chaos. Creating life on the board. The endgame arrived, a razor's edge. Kings circled like weary gladiators. Pawns advanced with glacial slowness. The audience was stone silent. Josh calculated, deeper than he ever had. Not for fame. For the truth of the position. He offered a draw. Petrov, sweat beading on his forehead, stared. The position was dead equal. A draw meant shared gold. Petrov's hand shot out. A curt nod. No roaring victory. Shared glory. But as Josh shook hands, a profound peace settled over him. The crowd cheered, but the loudest sound was the quiet hum of satisfaction within. He hadn't conquered Petrov, he'd conquered the fear. He'd returned to the pure, fierce love of the battle itself. He looked at the board, the pieces resting. Not symbols of triumph or failure, but of endless possibility. The greatest victory wasn't etched on a trophy, it was etched in the heart. Finding your way back to the passion, the why, that's the move that truly echoes forever. The game never ends. You just learn to play it with your whole soul.
If stories like this moved you, imagine what else the chessboard has to reveal. From legendary upsets to hidden heroes, we bring the soul of chess to life. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, not just for checkmates, but for inspiration, brilliance, and the game behind the game. Subscribe now and become part of a community where every pawn has a story.